Hi, I'm Miss Ginsburg with KnowAtom, and today we're going to be reading Living Earth. This is a student reader in Unit 4. Habitats on Earth, scientist Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall is a scientist. She lived in Africa for many years. She studied a kind of animal called a chimpanzee. Chimp for short. Jane observed the chimps. She took notes on what they ate and when they slept. She also took notes on how they behaved with each other. Studying habitats. Jane studied the chimps in their natural habitat. A habitat is a place where life grows. It provides plants and animals with water, air, food, and shelter. These chimps are in their natural habitat. There are many different kinds of habitats on Earth: forests, lakes, oceans, deserts, gardens, and rivers are all habitats. Each habitat has different kinds of living and non-living things in it. A living thing breathes, grows, and moves. It reproduces. It needs energy, food, and water. Food is important because it helps living things grow. As they grow, living things get bigger and more complex. Food gives living things energy. This energy allows living things to move. Some living things move in ways we can't see. It happens in their bodies. Animals can also move from place to place. This dog is an animal. It moves from place to place. Plants and animals. Plants are living things. They make their own food from sunlight. Trees, flowers, and grass are all plants. Animals are also living things. They need to eat other living things for food. Dogs, cats, insects, birds, and fish are all animals. Chimps are animals. Jane observed that chimps eat fruits, vegetables, insects, eggs, nuts, and small animals. Jane also observed the chimps having babies and raising young. Reproduction is something that all living things do. This means they produce young. Humans and chimps have babies. Birds and fish lay eggs. Many plants produce seeds that will grow into new plants. All living things reproduce. They produce young. Jane also saw the non-living parts of the chimp's habitat. Non-living things don't meet all of the needs for life. They have never met those needs. Water is non-living. Sunlight and air are also non-living. They are part of almost every habitat on Earth. Water, air, and sunlight are all non-living parts of a habitat. Plants and animals are living parts. Plants need sunlight to make food, and sunlight warms all of Earth. Every living thing has a certain temperature it can survive in. Water is also important for living things. Water helps our bodies do many important things. Air is important because all living things need air to breathe. Chimps and other animals breathe in oxygen. They breathe out carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide. They release oxygen. Rainforest habitat. The chimps that Jane studied live in a forest in Africa. A forest is an area filled with trees. The chimps live in a kind of forest called a rainforest. Rainforests are wet and warm. Rain falls almost every day. Because of all the rain, many plants grow in rainforests. The plants have leaves, fruits, and nuts that animals eat. Trees also give animals shelter. Biodiversity. Habitats are found all over Earth. Each habitat has different kinds of plants and animals in it. Some habitats have more plants and animals than other habitats. Biodiversity is the different kinds of living things in the world or in a particular habitat. There are many different kinds of living things in this habitat. It has high biodiversity. More plants and animals live in the ocean than anywhere else. This makes oceans very diverse. They have a high biodiversity. Fish, whales, and sharks all live in the ocean. Things that live in the ocean need salt water. They cannot live anywhere else on Earth. Oceans have many kinds of fish and other plants and animal life. Some kinds of fish don't live in the ocean. They cannot survive the salt water. Instead, these fish live in freshwater. Lakes, rivers, and ponds are all freshwater. Many different plants and animals live in or near freshwater. Frogs and birds live near lakes and ponds. So do turtles and many kinds of insects. These habitats are also very diverse. This is a frog. Frogs spend time in the water and on land. They are often found near freshwater lakes, ponds, and rivers. The Arctic is a very different habitat from oceans or lakes. The Arctic is very far north on Earth. It gets very cold. There is snow on the ground all year. Not many plants and animals live in the Arctic because it is so cold. It isn't diverse. Some animals that do live there have thick white coats in the winter so they can stay warm and blend in with the snow. Polar bears and penguins live in the Arctic. Forest habitat photos. So here's a forest, and here are plants in the forest habitats: ferns, shrubs, wildflowers. Lake habitat photos. Lake habitat on the water. Here's lake habitat under the water. And here are plants in lake habitats: lilies, grasses, and bulrushes. Ocean habitat photos. Here's the ocean habitat and plants in ocean habitats: seagrass, red algae, and kelp. Life in a forest. Silent flyers. When it begins to get dark out, many kinds of owls wake up. They begin to fly. When owls fly, they are very quiet. They can fly close to another animal without being heard. Owls are hunters. Owls fly around looking for food. Owls are animals. They need to eat other living things for energy and nutrients. All animals get the food they need from their habitat. Owls eat other animals. Living things that eat other living things are predators. Most owls eat insects and small animals called rodents. Here's a rodent. Mice, moles, and voles are all rodents. These rodents are prey. Prey are animals that get eaten by other animals. Predators and prey. Both predators and prey rely on their senses to survive. Senses are ways that organisms gather information about the outside world. Owls have good eyesight in the dark. They have good hearing. They can hear the movement of other animals on the ground or in the trees. Prey animals have ways to avoid owls and other predators. Foxes and wolves are common predators in forests. Prey animals have to avoid predators that fly in the air. They have to avoid predators that run on the ground. Prey animals often have good senses of smell and hearing. They are also often fast. This helps them avoid predators. Predators and prey need water and air. They also need a particular temperature range to survive. Studying owls. It can be hard for scientists to study owls. Owls move around at night. But scientists are curious. They study what owls eat. This tells them about the living parts of the owl's habitat. Scientists know that owls swallow their prey whole. They don't chew them. This owl caught a mouse. An owl's body digests the prey. To digest means to break down food to release its nutrients and energy. An owl cannot digest the bones, fur, feathers, and teeth of its prey. It spits these things back up 20 hours after eating. What the owl spits up is called a pellet. The bones from more than one prey animal can be found mixed together in the same pellet. Here are 2 owl pellets. When the owl is ready to spit up the pellet, it makes funny faces. It closes its eyes. It stretches its neck up and forward. It opens its beak. The pellet falls out. Scientists look for owl pellets. Owl pellets tell scientists what other animals live in that habitat. This tells scientists about the biodiversity of the habitat. Wow, I learned a lot reading Living Earth, and I had fun too. I hope that you learned a lot and that you had fun also. I'll see you tomorrow with another book. Bye.